The full moon in Scorpio is almost here. Hello, beautiful divine seekers. Let's talk about what's going to happen on this blue moon, on this super deep, profound, and important full moon in Scorpio. You are divine. I got some downloads about this full moon. I connected with Mother Gaia, with the moon, the celestial body. As you know, I work in the Akashic Records, and using the pendulum to get accuracy, using visions, I connect. I tune into the Akashic Records, and for the full moon updates, I like to tune into the Akashic Record of the moon. You know that the moon, the planets, the celestial bodies, they are alive. They are sentient beings. We're going by pure intuition, and we are doing our own Akashic Records astrology by connecting to those celestial bodies directly. So I tuned in again just now, opening up to my spirit guides, to my higher guides, to also my forces of light, the Pleiadian and Arcturian forces of light, who show me a lot of things. Okay, Scorpio, we know. Scorpio goes deep. Scorpio gets at the real, raw root, gets at the emotions, can bring things to the surface. And what I saw in my visions was the following. I saw that from the deep, things are going to surface within you and around you. So in this full moon, first of all, what you need to do is do a little bit of Archangel grid protection. That's the first message that I got. It's really important. So on the 18th, why don't you just, for the next 3 days, the 18th, 19th, 20th, in the morning when you get up, do your grid. Do a grid of light of protection of 4 archangels, just to really make sure that you are safe. That's the first message I got, okay? Not to be worried, but when things come from the deep, they can be good and they can be bad. All right, it can be a negative or a positive polarity. So what I saw was this, that the full moon talks about manifestation, coming to fruition of things. And I saw that within us, within each soul, that what we have so wanted, those things that we've worked for, those things that are our true heart's desires, our deep desires, they are gonna rise. They're gonna rise. They're gonna come to the surface. Those deep desires, like, you know, sometimes we just kind of go along in life. We kind of just go with the flow. We go from one thing to the next, and we don't allow our deepest true desires to rise to the surface, because sometimes we feel that we can't even make them happen. We feel that it may not even be possible for those things to come out. We're afraid to really get deep, to get real, but this full moon is not going to allow that. This full moon is going to bring it up to the surface. So you may as well get prepared and do your pre-work. You may as well start meditating now, today, to allow those things to come up to the surface. And I'm talking about the grid of light meditation, because what comes up, it's going to be 2 things. It's going to be 2 polarities. We all have a shadow side. We have a shadow side. We have the side that is maybe not so desirable, that maybe is part of our trauma, part of those things that we don't want to look at. So that is going to rise, just as those beautiful desires, what our path, what our purpose is like, what we want it to be like, that's going to rise too. But both sides are going to rise. That's what I saw in my vision. So you better be ready for it. You better be ready for it. And those who already have done a lot of work, those who already know what it is they truly want, you're going to feel it even stronger, and you're going to see some manifestations of that. But like I said, the shadow and the light, both. Scorpio has both. Scorpio can deal with both. We know that. Me as a poor little Pleiadian Starseed Leo, I'm all about the light. I'm all about embracing the light. And sometimes I don't like to look at my shadow side. you know, but this shadow work is what we all have to do at some point. So just be ready for some really deep emotions to surface, for some things that you may not like about yourself, the deep addictions, those maybe negative habits that you had, that you thought you had conquered, that all that might come up again. So be ready for it. Be ready. Balance yourself. Start the day with meditation. Start the day with calling in your grid of light. And then be prepared for things to erupt within you. Okay, so when you're prepared, then it's easier. Be prepared. Know that some dark, deep stuff may come up from the past, from traumas, from things that you don't allow yourself to really want, because it may be like a little bit of the, that shade of gray type of thing, if you know what I mean, right? So just be aware of that. And when you're aware of it, then you'll know what to do with it. When the shadow comes up, you'll know, okay, thank you so much for showing me. And those pieces, those shadow pieces of you that are still not purged, that you don't want, that you want to work through, now is the time to work through them in this Scorpio full moon. To look at them, to say, thank you for showing up. And to maybe do a little ritual to shine light on them so they can go, so they can be dispersed. Or so you can maybe work with them for 1 or 2 or 3 days during this full moon to get them out of your system. Okay, each one of you does it in a different way. And then those deepest desires, that what you truly want, the relationship you truly want, how you truly want to feel, your path and purpose, your calling, that's going to surface. So you can't lie to yourself anymore. If you are saying, no, everything is fine, I'm just doing this job, I'm just rolling along, everything is good. If it's not really so, you are going to find out. Ooh, look at this. Ooh, there's the sunshine. What an effect. Hello. Beautiful. There's a skylight right here. As you can see, I'm not in my usual setting. I'm in Germany, visiting my mom right now, looking after her a little bit. That's why I have a different background here. Anyways, be ready. Be ready for the deep. And if you do a little bit of work now, like I said, sit down, just let it rise already. 3 days before the full moon, that's today, is 3 days before the full moon. It starts to really work already. So if you do some work now, then you can get better results. Then it won't be so drastic, But be prepared for some emotional eruptions around you. People who are not so awake and aware, they may blow up. They may ask for fights. They may go crazy. They may do things that are unexpected. They may go into some negative, dark behaviors, right? It's all possible. So you really have to be prepared and do your work ahead of time. Now, the other thing that I saw in my vision, and I saw this when I actually went up. Most of you know that I'm very much into Starseed origin type themes, that I am Pleiadian Arcturian, that I have my spirit guides, that I have my higher guides, that I'm part of the forces of light that are up there right now helping us ascend. So I actually went up there with my Arcturian spirit guide, Elron. When I was up there, I saw a vision of Earth. And I saw, in this full moon in Scorpio, I saw some dark shadows arise. And we know that we are in the ascension process. We know that even if you're not too much into all this, we know that something is changing. These times are very special. We are changing dimensions. We are changing vibrations. We are moving from the 3rd dimension into the 5th. We are changing as a whole. Humanity is raising up into a new density, into a new dimension, together with our mother Gaia Earth. And in this full moon in Scorpio, there are some shadow aspects. And I don't mean within us, I mean around us. We know there are forces of light and there are forces of dark. I truly believe this. I've felt this. I've seen this. And I feel that on the full moon in Scorpio, there can be some dark aspects rising. There can be some dark aspects trying to gain influence, perhaps trying to influence you a little bit. The more light you shine, right? the more certain dark people, energies, entities, things like that may be attracted to you. And this is not to make you feel scared. This is just for you to be prepared and for you to call out your grid of archangels, because then you are untouchable. No one can do anything. This is universal law if you don't allow it. So just be prepared that you may see or feel some negativity arising. So do your work. Create your grid of light. I'm going to link a video up there in the eye. You'll see an eye popping up there somewhere. Maybe below I'll link it as well. I've made a few videos already on how to create a grid of light, how to do psychic protection, how to do all that kind of stuff. So just do that as a preliminary, I would say, just to protect yourself a little bit, okay? On this full moon in Scorpio, I'm going to do that starting tomorrow. Every day I'm going to create a grid of light for 24 hours. Next day I'll do the same. I'll really connect with my archangels, with all my protective guides to be there for me. So that's just the download I'm getting for you to do whatever protective measures you would like to do, okay? And of course, with all this comes the incredible potential for transformation, okay? The change, the deep coming up, the emotions, you understanding and allowing yourself to discover what it is that you truly want from the bottom of your soul, right? With that comes an aspect of real transformation. So this full moon, you can use it to really break through some boundaries that you've set for yourself, to really purge the last of any negative and dark shadow sides, like I said, to really purge those, to get those out of your system, to really move forward in a big, big, big way. These last few months have been amazing, have been incredible. Every month, I feel, has brought us closer to that fifth dimension, has brought us further in our ascension process. And now is the time to really turn things around in a big way, to really transform, to really open yourself up to who you want to be, to what you want to be, to the new, and to let go of the old. Scorpio is a huge transformational, I would say, energy motor. And I would really use that. And of course, because it's such a deep, emotional, I would say, root energy, that's how I'm feeling it right now. And remember, I'm not an astrologer. I'm not talking astrology. I'm talking what I feel and the downloads that I'm getting specifically for this full moon. Okay, so I'm just saying that take time to figure out what it is that you truly want, to let that come up and to take some steps, to take some action. And because the full moon is a time of manifestation, everything you do in this full moon, even if you haven't done it yet, is going to bring either a small result or a big result already. So all the work you've done in the past couple of months of transforming, now you're going to really move to the next level. All the work you're going to start to do now is already going to show some small results within the phase of the full moon. And by next full moon, it's going to come big time. So what I'm saying is this is really a beautiful chance to really look deeply into your soul, into your heart and soul, and figure out what is it that you truly, truly, truly want. What is your true heart's desire? Don't ignore it anymore. Don't stick your head in the sand. Don't procrastinate. Don't let others pull you off the path. This can be such a beautiful, beautiful, deep flowing energy, just to let it all flow to the surface and to move forward. Okay, so that's the message that I have for you for this full moon in Scorpio. It's very simple, actually very profound, and I hope you start your grid of light. You start to do a little bit of shadow work, however you want to do it. You start to do some opening of your heart to really connect to your deep, to connect to what it is that you truly want, your true path purpose and desires, because you'll be able to do that. And then write it down. Make a little ritual, write it down so you don't forget, because as soon as the full moon is gone, you might be like, okay, all right, I'll just go back into the ordinary day-to-day grind, and you'll forget all these beautiful visions and ideas that you had. So don't let that happen. Make a ritual out of it. Listen to your heart and soul. Listen to your deep. Let the deep come up. Let it come out. Work with it and make it happen. And you can truly do this in this beautiful blue full moon in Scorpio. Okay, so thank you very much. Love you all. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're already feeling the stirrings of the deep now. And if you're watching this a little bit later, tell me what came up for you. What did you do? So you don't forget, what did you do to work? What shadow sides are coming out for you? Let me know. Share it. We all want to know. We're all one. We're all together in this. Thank you so much, Natasha, Cosmic Empress. Ciao for now.